few moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Minshew sets to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. This taken in about 4 yards deep. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. The 30. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Chicago. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and...
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Minshew. His throw incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Room here to run. 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter.
Bears 14, Vikings 7. Sam Sloman set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Minshew. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert, counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Off play action, it's Minshew. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Minshew. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, 93 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. This is Jakeem Grant. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now on 2nd and 13. Minshew. This one brought in by Jefferson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a run. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the 1st half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already.
Sam Sloman set to kick off.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because this is exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. 2nd
quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And this will be a Vikings 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Minshew going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Sam Sloman set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
As we've seen over the years, offensive coordinators often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. On 1st down, it's Cook, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
It's now 3rd and goal.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Khalil Mack. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's got to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now a handoff looking right. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
It's now 4th down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
They're on the 42-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll throw now on the final play. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Fielded in the end zone. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This duo locked in. 14 yards there and a first down.
48-yard line.
It'll be Minshew again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On 2nd down, Cook. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Brings up
out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And he knocks it through.
makes the score Bears 35, Vikings 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Called out a very strong gain of 24.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He's going to take off with it. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flush to his right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He got out of the pocket there. Was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 22 yards there, a first down.
Chicago.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll try to run this one in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They go play action. Cousins. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Vikings on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Kaepernick looking to throw. 3rd and 2. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he will have the Bears first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, Kaepernick's going to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
That which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. On second down now, it's Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Open man right side is his running back. It's complete downfield.